Hello everyone, welcome to Zen Appeal Yoga today. We're going to take a nice practice. We're going to see what shows up in the body today. It's still morning time. My body hasn't done much. I did teach yoga just before I came here to the studio. So still checking in with what my body wants to do today after serving others. So right now I'm just taking a few moments just to observe my body. Noticing sensations from crown of the head down to the toes. Noticing anything that gives me a little bit more sensation, something more to feel. Just allowing my mind to take in the moment. Enjoying the breath. Closing my eyes here for a few breaths. So you yourself may need to take a few more moments just to check in, find your breath, calm your mind if that's the case. Just take pause here, take care of you. And then when you're ready, you can continue on with practice, the asana practice. Thank you for letting me be your guide today. Namaste. Let's begin. All the way flat, Shavasana. Just letting the body rest on the earth for a breath or two. And then taking a long body stretch from here. Arms up by the ears. Interlace the fingers. Expand all the way down with the breath into your feet. A pointed foot with toes spread out like a cat. And then we bend the legs, plant the feet, outer edges of your mat, drop your knees right and left like windshield wipers. And then I'll move into bringing the knees into the belly. Let the arms catch the legs. Nice squeeze here. So this squeeze will tell you what's going on in the lower back, what's going on with your hip flexors. If this is an easy squeeze for you, much less resistance. And it tells you your body's probably a little less tight, and lucky you, that's great. But for those who find this challenging, you can let the feet kind of rest down on the earth and just have somewhat of a bent shape, or maybe just one leg at a time, drawing in and out, letting it go for a little bit. We're going to move into a nice twist from here. So there's various degrees with legs, torso, line, twist, right? If my feet are on the floor, I can simply drop my knees to the right side. So if I come here, it's very little twist. I feel more leg or waistline down stretch than I do twist. But let's say I stack left leg on top of right. So now I start to feel a little lower back twist. If I keep moving the knees up towards my right armpit, that's a whole lot more twist. And then if I want cervical neck twist, head, turn it the opposite way that the legs are. So my legs are on the right, and I look left. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, you bring the legs back. And again, we'll start with the feet on the floor. And all the same. First, we'll drop the knees to the left side. See what that feels like. One side to the other. What do you notice that's different? And then we'll stack the right leg right on the left one, right on top. You start to feel the lower back coming in. Definitely feels different from right side to left side. Start to move the knees up more. All going to readjust and tuck under a bit more for knees into the armpits on the left side. Head is looking opposite direction of knees, so right with the head, knees are on the left side. And we'll take a couple of breaths here just to relax. Come back to center. Inhale, center. Back to a squeeze. Just noticing the body each time. Left foot down to the earth. We'll keep our right knee tucked into the belly. Whole leg here. We'll start to open the inner thigh off to the right. So I'm moving my right knee towards my right armpit, foot up above the knee. Drawing down. Maybe I even touch the floor here. So if you're lucky enough to let your left hip is able to touch the floor, it's fantastic. I'm going to give myself a little bit more help here by letting my left leg extend forward to see if I can balance out through the hips. But no, I do not have this big opening in my body. It's better. But for me to find the balance in the hips, I have to let the thigh and the knee come off the floor. The balance comes from your left leg. So it's a flexed foot, heel touch, calf touch. Press your left knee down and make sure your left glute is firmly touching the earth. And it's a strong hold of foot to knee, knee towards the earth on the right side. So you may notice that this is probably it in terms of what you could do with your right leg, but if you have more, inhale, extend your right leg to the right. Try not to change what's going on in your left leg. One more breath here. Release your right leg, let the ankle cross above your left knee. So we have right external rotator within your hip, glute medius, so maybe a little bit of active, pressing the knee down to the earth to get a stretch in the hip. Actually feels pretty good today. And we'll see what the left side says, right? So inhale, we'll pick up our figure 4 in the sky. Maybe we'll see if we can actually draw the legs into the chest with no help from the hands. And then maybe we start to thread through to catch the left leg somewhere. You can catch the whole leg and just hold the shape of this reverse fold, if you want to call it that. You can also just soften your left leg, maybe catch around the whole leg bent. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take your left shin and actually rotate that leg behind the right one. Lots of names for this. You can call it double pigeon. You can call this fire log, shin stack. I'm just drawing it into the chest. So this is challenging, so make sure this is not causing your body harm. If you're already in this shape, we can let it go forward and down to the earth. Otherwise, we try to make that same shape on the earth. So we let the hands release from the figure 4, left foot to the earth, and just walk the leg over or just tuck it underneath the right shin. Try to relax all that you feel. One more breath. So let's go for more stretch. So we're going to slide the door open. So think of your 2 shin bones as 2 sliding doors. We're going to slide them open to the bottoms of the feet come together. Woo, that is a big old stretch. One more breath. And we close the door. The legs come together. So we'll let our left leg go down and our right leg reach high in the sky. You can gauge wherever straight is for you with whatever balanced hips that you have already. And it's just a noticing point, right, or awareness point. And if you can, maybe reach up to the leg for more fold. So being mindful here of overextended joints. I happen to have an overextended knee joint, so if I were to pull the foot, it's going to stretch even more behind the knee, which is at this point in my life not a good thing. It never was a good thing, but back then you never knew. Now that I know, I try not to stretch that. I try to maybe hold or brace it and then pull the rest of the leg in so that my hamstring is stretching and not the back of my knee. Because I can go deeper, but I would use my range of motion, the extra range of motion in my knee joint to get me there. And then if you have a little bit more space and you notice that your ribs are kind of in the way, you can start to shift the leg
just off the ribs to see if you have some more close to the ear shape here. Now this is a very deep stretch. Of course, listen to your body. Remember, the balanced leg is still the left one. And then we'll let the leg go back up to the sky. Across the body twist. So if I just let the leg fall off to the side, it pulls my hip up and over. So it takes my spine in kind of this crescent shape. So if I wanted to move it into more of a straight line down the center of my mat, gotta pull the left hip back. And then waistline twist so that my crown of the head all the way down to my left heel is a straight line. And then the other straight line is right hip to right heel, pointing to the left, and then the arms are also straight. So it's kind of interesting to notice these lines. And then from there, what more can you do? There's opposite hands for feet. Left hand for right foot. That's a big iliotibial band stretch, I feel it. And then bottom leg, give it a bend. So we're trying to keep the shape that we had, and just with the bottom leg, and just give it a bend, like bringing the heel to your hip. That's very challenging. One more breath here. Start to unravel, let go hands from knees. We're going to come into eagle legs. So eagle legs will also get a big stretch of the hips and the outside of the hips, or IT bands. So the top leg is trying to wrap the bottom leg. This happens to be my easier side, is here. Is the right leg wrap. The left leg is another story. So there's a deep twist, or deeper twist, that you can take here with your eagle legs. So right and left is going to give you something different to feel, right? So the deeper one is what leg is pulling or wrapping, which is the right. So if we let the right leg go directly to the left, working the right knee to the earth, that pulls more hip and more stretch here. And this is fantastic. It does go great. I'm going to take another breath here. And then we're going to see what it feels like to move to the left side and let the left knee come down to the earth. So we bring our eagle legs back to center. And now see, what about the left knee coming down to the earth? So this is a different sensation for sure. It's pulling a different line on my body. My left shoulder is definitely not wanting to touch, but that is the side that I've had an injury that I'm coming back from. Not that it's 100% healed, but I think it's just kind of an aging thing. I'm still debating what is possible to do there. I still have my strength, etc., etc. It's a long conversation that doesn't need to happen for here. So anyway, it's not touching the earth here on the left, my left shoulder. But it's close. And it's without pain. I actually like this one because I feel different things than I normally do. One more breath. And then come back to center, unravel your legs, and bring the knees into the belly. All right. So let the right foot come down to the earth. pulling the left knee into the belly. So we start to shift this off to the side, taking hand to foot and drawing the knee or the thigh to touch the floor. So as you can tell on this side, you can see it, that my hip is not touching. I can try to help it by lengthening this leg. Gives me a little bit more, not much. So to balance it out through my hips, I must ground my right leg and let go of the deep touch of the earth on the left side. So it's a flex foot, dorsiflexion, calf touch, knee press down, glute touch. And I could feel I have not as strong of a ground of glute to earth here. So I'm just gonna give it extra breath just to see if my body can ground better there. All right. Let's extend our leg to the side. One more breath. And we let the leg go. Left ankle above right knee. So here's the figure 4. So again, trying to find just that neural bridge with my glute medius to my left knee, pressing it down just a little while I'm trying to flatten back somewhat to the earth. There's still going to be a little bit of back bend, just a little bit. So this is our figure 4. So can we pick this figure 4 up in the sky and just see where the legs can go in towards the body. So already I feel resistance. I don't feel like this is as close to my body, but I have my left hip is different than my right hip. It just is what it is. But anyway, so if I want to take this a little bit deeper, I'm going to protect my knee by catching behind the knee joint with the one hand, and that makes me feel a whole lot more on the left side. So same thing as we did before. Letting my left hip relax before I move into the double pigeon. But remember, this is a step forward, this is a step backward, right foot to the earth. You can always just catch by threading through behind the thigh or the whole right leg bent. And if you want to take the double pigeon, you take the right shin, tuck it behind the left one, and you try to catch all of your leg bones into your chest. Ooh, that's a lot to feel. One more breath. Into the double pigeon, lying down. So here, if you already have the shape, you just kind of let the legs go forward and rest. If you don't, we try right foot down to the earth and we kick underneath the right shin, underneath the left one, and we try to relax all that we feel. a couple of sliding doors here. Left shin on top of right one. We're going to slide the door open so the bottoms of the feet come together. So inhale, we open, and there's the bottoms of the feet. And again, a lot more to feel. More breath. So we start to close the door. We bring the knees together. And we extend our left leg up in the sky. Just kind of see where the leg goes into the face. Right leg, we can start to extend it down. So again, I have an overextended knee joint that go past range of motion. So to not stretch my joint, I'm going to catch behind to support and then pull the leg in from there. And if you catch high, you can already see what happens, right? Let me work on my hip for a second. All right. Drawing in. So already this side, my rib cage is in the way, so I'm going to move this leg off to the side. And just see where, close to my body, I can find space here. And again, this is a very deep stretch, so be mindful. And you can play with what hand you like better here for the knee and the foot. I just vary it on this side for whatever reason. I feel like I need someone to push this leg down. This one has a lot more space in this direction. We take our twists, so we let the leg go all the way over to the other side. So the same thing happens. My whole hip body gets pulled over to the side, so I'm away from the center line of the mat. And I like straight lines, so I'm going to move my hip to the center line of the mat, hip and shoulder, and then from there I'll waistline twist to get my spine right on the center line of my mat, all the way down through the right leg and right heel. And again, it's interesting to find yourself in all these straight lines, from the legs to the arms and the spine. I can feel this side is a little resistant. Not exactly sure why. A little off. So from here we have the binds again, opposite hands for feet, and the bottom leg is where we're trying to just bend the leg back but keep the straight line with the thigh. And the head has a left side turn if you choose to take it. So we have our eagle legs coming up again. This time the left leg wraps the right one. And this is my challenging leg, but hopefully all that twisting has helped to find length in my hip, body, to wrap a little bit better. Let's see. So we take an inhale to let go, bring the hips back. Here we are. All right, we wrap. Good. Okay. So again, we're working for a twist. We're gonna take both sides. So we bring the legs in to the torso. You can wiggle room your eagle bind of your legs, and then we'll start with the leg that wrapped, the left knee coming down to the earth on the right side of your body. So just let the legs go over to the right. So I have the same thing with the shoulder here, but not as strong. It's a little bit closer to the earth, but definitely it's a big stretch for me on the left, chest and shoulder. I feel like my body is like asking for this twist, because the more I stay here and breathe, my lower back on the left around my hip joint, iliac crest, kind of just along the top of the hip bone, actually the hip bone, not hip joint, I start to find ease happening there. It's challenging to, when your legs are this strong, wrapped, to find ease. So I'm trying to let my right leg go. It's holding on there. There we go, that's a little bit better. One more breath. All right, now we'll bring the legs back to center. That's actually interesting. And now we go the other way, left. Right knee touches the earth. So let's see if this one is just as interesting as the other side. I do not ever take the opposite leg in the wrap touching the floor. So I get the same shoulder coming up, the opposite shoulder like I did on the other side. Ooh, that's strong. So I have a medial knee problem here that doesn't exactly like it over here. I can feel it. I'm trying to see if it wants to feel worse or just feel ease. I think if I keep my foot in dorsiflexion, the one that's touching the floor, that seems to help it. It's not getting worse, it's just holding steady. I'm just gonna stay here and try to relax everything else. It's very hard. One more breath. And then come back to center. Ooh. Unravel the legs. Knees into the belly. Ooh, that's interesting. Now we'll start to open up both sides. Baby. Both sides extended like a reverse upavisha. See if the toes get to the floor. And I'm trying also to keep the back of the hips or the sacrum touching the floor. Take the bottoms of the feet together. From the plane of the face, reverse sleeping tortoise, head to feet. Maybe a little peek through. Unraveling the legs up in the sky, rock up to sitting. And just take a moment to see what it feels like. So the legs and the spine. Like twisting is my jam today. So we'll take a little bit of that. So bend your legs and get your hips to somewhat the center of your mat. And you can squeeze the legs into the chest with a tall spine. See what that feels like. And our knees, we'll let them fall over to the right side. We're gonna let them stagger, so right leg higher than the left. And then from there, we're going to turn all the way. Now I'm facing the back of the mat, or where my head lies, or once was just. So rolling over your right hip until the belly gets flat to the floor, and ribs and chin. Then from there, turn your head left while you reach the arms down, fingers pointing towards your feet. Head turns right. Left if you need less twist in your neck. Right for more twist. This is one of my favorite twists. You kind of get the support or help from the floor, holds the body in its position or in this twist, and just allows you to kind of relax down into the shape, which is nice. From here, chin neutral, hands underneath the shoulders or by the ribs. We pick up, inhale up. Exhale, left leg will stretch to the front of our mat, and the right foot into the inner thigh. So this is head to knee pose. We flex our left foot. So from here, to get to the long leg, we have to twist down, or let our right side front body twist down towards the left leg. So if I were just to go forward, that would be on the inside of the leg. But if I want to fold on the leg, I have to twist to it, right? Twist, lengthen, breath, fold. Bind or no bind, catching right wrist, up to you. Inhale, pick up. Exhale, let go. Take right foot flat to the earth, so fully bent right leg, knee pointing up, foot down, and I catch the leg with my right arm. So this is a Marichiasan prep. We'll say this is C. I'm going to turn this into twist. So left arm catches right leg, and I'm still keeping the connection of leg into the chest. So I'm just going to use the right hand on the earth to help open. Close on the way. Just slide that open for deeper twists here. So I'm staying tall. I have an active lower back. My belly's going in. And from there, if I want more, I can move my left arm outside of the leg. Push it away or center, past center. And then if I really want to check in with the bind, maybe. I can tell I need a little bit more folding. It's all good. I'll just take the half bind and keep my chest up. Tight hip right there. All right, inhale, we come back, right leg. Let it go on top of the left one. Pick up the spine, inhale, and fold. Stay there forever. Inhale, pick up, and around with the legs. So again, back to center mat with your hips, bent legs. And we catch the legs into the chest and we're nice and tall in the spine. So here we're gonna move into the prone twist on the other side. So release hands from legs and let them fall left. So now the left leg is higher than the right one, and then we keep twisting. I'm facing the back of my mat. So here, rolling over your left hip to get the belly and rib cage and heart and chin down to the floor. So it's a long twist. Then from there, the head goes either right or left. Left for more twist, and arms are reaching down. Again, one of my favorite twists, because this allows me to use the support of the floor to kind of hold the shape of this, but then my body relaxes deeper into this, which is nice. If I were to face this up, I don't have like a solid surface pushing my body down towards the earth. So this direction is kind of the same as up, but you get to go deeper. There's also a deeper version, but we didn't do it this time, that you can add on to here, but maybe next time we'll do it. This side feels good today. Those eagle legs with the twist the other way I don't normally do. That's kind of what happens when you, it's kind of, you know, that whole saying, you don't know what you don't know. So you take a different direction of something similar, and next thing you know, oh my goodness. Okay, so we get our chin neutral and underneath the shoulders or rib cage and pick ourselves up in here. I'm going to turn to the front. Right leg reaches for left foot on the inner thigh. So head to knee pose, other side. So this is the one pose right here, this side, that I've noticed where I have done myself a disservice as a teacher who has a regular teaching practice since 2008. I've been teaching in yoga studios that when you model or show a pose, I think I've talked about this before, but I'm just gonna bring it up again real fast, that I've never taken this side. I've taken this side much less than I have the right side, right? So this left side, I notice it doesn't feel the same at all. But over the course of, you count the years, 08 to 20, what are we, 22, right? We're still 22, yes, still 22. That's a lot of years, right? So it tells you something. So again, if I were just to fold forward, I would be inside of the right leg, but we're trying to fold to it. So it's left side, back body, reaching nice and tall towards the leg. It's like I need to spend like a whole day, every day in this pose to tell my body that this other side is here. So of course, you can't tell. It looks like, oh, what's this girl talking about? She's got a deep fold, blah, blah, blah. But I can tell that I've done myself a disservice. So give yourself the bind. But again, these things you don't even think about. It's just so interesting how you just don't think about these things when you're teaching. Some things you learn after the fact, and that just is how it is. You just hope that you didn't push too far in one direction, that you can't come back. And again, that's happened too. It's all a journey. Oh, this side. All right. Inhale, we pick up with our Marichi Asana C prep. Knee up, foot down. There's a fist amount of space in between your foot and the inner thigh. I did not mention that last time, but here we are. And holding the leg into the chest with my left arm, preparing for the twist. So going in for the twist, opposite hand catch, and I'm trying to keep the connection of my leg to my torso. Then I open the leg. Again, clothing gets in the way, so that's why I move myself a little bit there. And if this is easy, we shift the arm on the inside and start to push the leg more away. Reverse bind. This side, I'm definitely much more up, but still feel like I need more folding before I come into this. Maybe if I would have taken some hip flexor stretch, maybe that would have done it for me. Perhaps. One more breath. Inhale, unravel. Left leg on top of right one. A breath for fold here.
stayed there forever. It felt so good. Inhale, we pick up. This will be our last pose today. Of course, this practice could keep going on and on and on for an ever and ever, but we're just going to take a wide-legged fold, getting the legs out of the way, but still getting my torso either in line with my two legs or as close to the floor as I can. And we want to have external rotation here, knee and toes up. And then hands in front. So if you want to help yourself here, what I found is putting the hands in front on the floor, taking a little cow and cat, kind of helps to already stretch you into the same patterns before you take the fold. Like nice inhale. Right, and then exhale. A little cow and cat, maybe one more. Exhale. Then in front. Start to go forward. So my pelvis is already more stretched out forward or anterior tilting with a little bit of cow and cat. And then we keep going, we keep going, we keep going. And I'm not gonna worry about catching anything. I'm just gonna go for length and relaxation. Woo. It's not easy to relax in this pose. Okay. Inhale, we pick up and close the door. Whew. So again, from this point, a standing practice would be fantastic, but I'm gonna call that enough for right now. Anyway, so take a few moments to sit, similar shape as you were in before, or maybe you prefer to lie down, all is good. And lie down. I'm just going to close the eyes and observe how my body feels. And my body, can't even speak, my body feels definitely more open. I feel more length, I feel lighter, I feel great. It's a blessing as you get on in life that changes. You don't always have a day where you feel good. Things just happen. Nothing you can really do about that, but practice your yoga, and hopefully you've moved past just the asana part of it or the poses, and you're able to find the bigger practice of yoga, which is the mind practice. Being able to calm down is the biggest gift. Being able to calm down or manage your mind, the biggest gift. Just one more moment of observation. Not lied back down on the earth in Shavasana, maybe you'd like to spend the rest of your time there. I will leave you to enjoy it. Always a pleasure to enjoy a nice practice. It's a pleasure to be here for you. Served you in some way. common.